All right, all right, all right. Here we go. It's time to dive into a new campaign on now what is the full release version of Master of Command. And our patrons over on Patreon voted, and they have chosen overwhelmingly the Kingdom of Prussia. I'm actually really happy about that. If I was going to choose of the four that we haven't tried yet, Prussia would have been my first choice. So that's what we're going with. And in addition to that, as I alluded to previously, I have put up a post for our major level patrons on up for now. We may eventually open it up to captain level, but we just don't have enough units to be able to do that yet. But our major and on up, if you are a patron at one of those levels, I have posted a comment requesting your unit choice. You can name the unit, you can give me any parameters about colors and things like that, and what type of unit you want them to be. Do you want them to be dragoons? Do you want them to be artillery? Do you want them to be infantry? And if so, what kind? All of that, you just comment on that post and let me know that. But let's go ahead and dive into this. This is the Kingdom of Prussia. They have fast infantry that's drilled to march and reload with unmatched efficiency, enabling daring maneuvers. Their heavy infantry forms the backbone of this disciplined army. But their reliance on their infantry comes at a cost. Artillery is neglected by commanders, and maintaining such elite forces means fielding expensive units that are difficult to replace. So we're going to go at the standard level, which is captain. And right now the only option we have for armies is the cantonist levies. Now, one cool thing that you have about this is that you have these regimental unlocks for each of the different armies, and you have to complete different things. So, for example, I played around with Prussia previously, just trying them out a while back, and I inflicted 10,000 casualties, so I unlocked this particular unit. Other units equip 8 regiments with ramrods at one time. As cantonist levies have 10,000 reservists at one time, etc., and you unlock these specific units. But let's go ahead and dive into this one. Here we go. So first things first, do we want to invade Thuringia? Do we protect farther Pomerania, or do we suppress Saxony? What do each one of these unlock is the main thing. We can get the dragoons to join our army. Get field hospitals doctrine. That would actually be really helpful. That would give us 15% casualties restored after the battle. That would really come in handy long term. I think we might do that one. Offensive spirit doctrine. I don't know about that. Frontline focus doctrine. Yeah, I think we're going to go with invade Thuringia just because I like the unlocks that we get for that. So let's do it. So here are the units that we start with in our lone division. We've got Prussian musketeers, we've got cantonist recruits, 2 brigades of those, and some provincial cavalry. So we start out with a few things that we can equip. We'll go ahead and do that as well and get these units built up a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and dive in. All right, your army stands at the frontier. Though modest in size, your forces are disciplined and in good order. A nearby depot lies ahead. We always get to start with that supply cache to get us going here. I think we're going to get provisions, or we're going to get manpower with every place that we enter, so I don't think we're going to worry about that. No matter what we do, though, we're going to face a weak enemy detachment. So our first battle, our first chance to take our forces into combat, and we're facing definitely a weaker size. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Prussian musketeers right in the middle. We'll put the recruits on either flank. We'll hold our cav right behind. And this is pretty much just going to be a move straight forward. We're going to take on some Hungarians. So I guess we're dealing with the Austrian army here. Yep. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and move forward. It's been a while since I've had the simpler days of only one division to worry about. It's so much easier than maneuvering like 20 brigades at one time. So we're going to end up meeting them right in the middle of this forest. So everybody's going to have the same advantages of cover. So he's got 2 units that he's moving forward here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to engage them here in the center and use the advantage of having an extra one to get out on his flank, like right out here. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, our chance to see our musketeers in action for the first time. They're just about in range. Yep, I want you firing on these guys. Yes. I love it. I love it. I think they've done some with the animations there. I don't remember seeing the fire like that coming out of the guns. It's cool. All right, his cav's actually making a move now, so we're going to go to counter that. And now let's go ahead and get out here on his flank. I guess we're not going to be able to go as far as the high ground. So my provincial cav, not the best. 44 in morale. They've got 400 men. What's his look like? Also 400 men, also provincial cav, same morale. So basically it's a 50-50 thing here. So we're about to start firing on the flanks of the Hungarian recruits. Unload on them, baby. Let's go. As soon as they're all in position. Yes. Alright, I'm watching you, buddy. I'm watching you. So far, so good on morale. We're still at 100%. He's at 74. They start you out easy. You know, they lull you into that false sense of security, like the game's not going to be that difficult. But then it gets way harder as you go along. Charging through the woods isn't going to necessarily be an easy thing. Alright, let's charge. Let's hit them. Hopefully we'll use the charge to gain a slight advantage, because otherwise we're pretty even here. Yeah, that's going to give us just a slight morale advantage, and that's going to be enough for us to win that and drive them off. I'm going to keep my division commander in the back here, my general. Yeah, I guess he's not the division commander, he's the army commander. Alright, we've got to retreat. So here's what I think I'm going to do, and I didn't do a lot of this with the British, but I think I want to do more of it now, and that is to use the charge mechanic when we have opportunities like this to turn the tide of the battle. It's definitely how things would have been done at the time, at a time when it takes, 20, 30 seconds to reload. Bayonet charges were definitely a big part of winning on the battlefield. There we go. Beautiful. So once we have a clear morale advantage, it definitely makes sense to do that in these battles. All right, wow, we got a lot of stuff for winning that battle. That's helpful. I definitely want the exchange. I want the veterancy here, because we didn't lose a lot of men. So I definitely want to get those upgrades as quickly as we can. We're going to need to get some more manpower for sure. What do we got up here? We've got a supply cache. Let's go into town first. Because my understanding is we're going to get 350 reservists just for entering the town. Yep, we do. So that's huge. Let's go ahead and go into the camp and just finish replenishing. Doesn't leave us a lot, but we're at least fully replenished now. So to purchase our first new brigade will cost 300. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We won't have money to get an officer or get any new units yet, because the minimum new unit is going to be 325 for Freikorps recruits. But, actually I think we could, if we go in and sell. We've got a couple of these silver gorgets. We sell a couple of those. That'll get us some money. Gets us up to 430. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick up some Freikorps recruits. So that gets us up to a total of five brigades now. And like I said, if you're one of the patrons and you see the post, if you're a major level or higher, just let me know what kind of unit you want. If you have any customization as far as uniform goes, or flag, or name, or anything like that, and we'll update those before episode 2. But for now, we're on day 3. We need to start securing 3 battlefields, and that'll get us some dragoons. And we need to capture 4 forts to get that field hospital doctrine. Both of those are going to be huge moving forward. So let's go ahead and hit up this supply cache, though. We've got day 150 before we fight the kind of the boss battle of Act 1. So plenty of time. We're going to fight another battle here. Yeah, I think the provisions, the money, we'll take the provisions in this case. All right, this time we're facing 5,800, so it's going to be a little tougher. What am I saying? I'm the one with 5,800. We're only facing 3,200. This will be another easy battle. All right, we're in pretty good shape to just sit here and wait for him, I think. I'm going to get my Prussian musketeers out here on the flank, and we're going to let him come into our killing zone. And I'll do the same with the Freikorps recruits on this side. We'll go ahead and send the Cav out on the flank, because we're going to have to go after his at some point. But otherwise, he's going to make this easy for me, I think. I'm going to move forward a little bit. Alright, here he comes. Oh, he's going to start shifting. You know, that's the only thing about me moving forward as quickly as I did, is that's causing him to go ahead and shift toward my unit. So I'm going to go ahead and move up to the cover of these fences. And we'll just start taking them on that way. Alright, our provincial cav, 46 morale, 400 men. He's got 52 morale, so this time a little tougher. These are Austrian Chevalier. So I'd rather kind of stay back and not go one-on-one with them. Which means if we can drive off these Crown Land recruits quickly, then we can use the Freikorps recruits to fire on those guys that are currently crossing a pond. Alright, we've got actually a good amount of cover here, you can see. I could probably charge and take them now, but I'm pretty content for the time being. Oh, here comes the charge. Okay, so he's probably gonna win this fight. I'm going to use my charge just because it gives me some advantages I might not otherwise have. But he's ultimately going to win that because he's got better morale and just better units in general. But what we're going to do is we're going to pull back. Oh no, we actually did beat him. Oh, nice. Well done, boys. I apologize for underestimating you. Alright, now we can do the same. These guys are about to break. Oh, we're going to fire a volley here first. Oh, yeah. We broke them that way. Okay, even better. Seems easy right now, but don't let it go to your head. It's going to get a lot tougher. I got to say, the latest version of the game, it definitely seems like the loot is better from these battles. So that's good. We only lost 294 men. So that's nice. We captured 1911. That's huge. So let's go ahead again and take the veterancy and provisions. I like getting those early upgrades. Looks like we got an upgrade for our general as well. Melee damage, range 10%. Ooh, I like that. I like the range 10%. We're going to need more manpower again. That's okay. Let's go ahead and head up to this town here. So that'll be a first time entering that one, so that'll be another 350 recruits right off the bat, which we can immediately apply to our army. Again, I think we could probably sell some stuff and get enough to buy another one, but maybe not yet. How about a general? Yeah, let's do that. Ludwig von Munchau. Melee damage received, veterancy gain, charge plus 15. I like this guy better. So we'll go ahead. Yep, he's in charge of the 2nd Brigade now. I think for the time being, we'll go ahead and shift one of our other units over there. We also can look here. Cantonist recruits. They could do Prussian land milits, but I want to wait, I think, before we upgrade, because we could get Fusiliers, we could get cavalry, we could get musketeers. Prussian life guards would be really nice. Or our veteran grenadiers. Oh, I was about to head toward this fort up here, but we first ran into a patrol army that looks to be much more even in terms of its numbers. It's got some artillery but no cavalry, so we're going to have to probably be a little more aggressive and march forward toward him so we can push through his infantry and get at that artillery before he can do too much damage with us, because I've noticed artillery seems to be a little more dangerous now in the full version of the game. So I'm pretty content to just stay right where we are and just start moving forward with everybody. I might try to go ahead and get my cav around the flank. What's he got here? So he's got Hungarian recruits, Crown Land recruits. His Fusiliers are on that side. So actually, I think I want to send the cav around this way. Keep them behind the infantry as best I can. So he's backing up the artillery now so he can unlimber them, and they're going to start firing. I didn't fully replenish all my units, so some of them are a little bit under strength, but not too bad. So we're going to get right up here at the edge, and these recruits are going to use the woods for cover. These recruits are going to be able to use this fence. Our cav's going to move in around. We're going to try to get at the artillery while we're engaged. I really do like that he's being much more consistent with keeping his battle line straight instead of units that are faster getting out in front of the ones that are slower. You can see my musketeers have better weapons, and so they've got more range. And so they're going to be able to fire before even any of the other units even get into position. Alright, I need these recruits to get in behind this fence. I'm going to toggle them sprinting. Get them up a little faster. Alright, everybody's just shooting it out right now. I've got cover here, so that helps. It looks like he's going to advance because of the cover. He's not going to stand there and shoot it out with me, or he just needed more, needed to close the gap to have the range. We're kind of in the open, going toe-to-toe right there, so it's going to be pretty even. But everywhere else, I should have an advantage. I'm going to go behind these hills, use that for cover. I'm going to tell them to start going a little faster. Freikorps recruits, which, like I said, this is the one unit that's out in the open that doesn't have some advantage either with cover or with good weapons. They're the ones that are in the most danger at the moment. I'm probably going to charge with these Cantonist recruits in a minute, once I get off one more volley. So let's go ahead and zoom in for that. A lot of smoke on the battlefield right now. There we go. Okay, they retreated anyway, so I don't even have to charge. I'm going to go ahead and charge into them anyway because I don't want them recovering and firing a volley on me while I'm trying to get at his artillery. So I want to completely shatter that unit, which I'll be able to do here. So they'll cease to be an effective fighting force. They won't be somebody I have to deal with, and now I can send my cav back toward the artillery, who appears to see what I'm up to, and they're heading in my direction. So that might be an issue. His Fusiliers are charging. Okay. I've got full bar of morale, so that's... I don't see that as a particularly effective strategy. This is the unit he should have charged, the Freikorps recruits. Alright, yeah, there goes his artillery. Let's hit him before he can fire again. Oh yeah, there go my Freikorps recruits. They got lit up pretty good in that battle. I mean, they did well. They inflicted 277 kills and lost 126 men. Once we get them leveled up, get them some better weapons, they'll be all right. They were just in a tough spot on the battlefield. All right, let's move up a little bit with the musketeers. As soon as these Cantonist recruits fire this volley, we're going to charge. Interesting that his artillery didn't shatter right away. There they go. Now they're shattered. Oh, Hungarian recruits have broken. I didn't even need to charge. Oh, we are in a melee situation here. And it's one that's not going particularly well for my Cantonist recruits. They're going to probably break. That's okay. I'm not too worried about that. Because I've still got the edge here. Now his Hungarian recruits are going to turn. Our Prussian musketeers are going to fire. I've got myself right up here against this fence, but oh, Freikorps recruits have recovered. So this battlefield has devolved a bit in terms of the formations, but that's okay. All right, our morale looks good, so we're going to go ahead and charge. Because these guys just came out of a melee fight, and they haven't recovered from that yet. There we go. They've broken. As soon as these Fusiliers break, this battle's over. And there it is. All right. A little more challenging, but still not a huge deal. So in the aftermath of this battle, I think we need to stop back in town and spend some money on recruits and a little bit of ammo, because I think we're going to need all of it. Yeah, that pretty much wipes me out of both, but that gets me back up to full. We need to start looking for battlefields to secure. And I don't think we're quite ready for the forts yet. We need to get some artillery. We'll go after the forts later on. Let's go after this convoy, though. We can buy beer, spirits, just seize it. Yeah, why wouldn't we do that? Why would we spend money when we can just seize it? Nice. All right, there's a battlefield over here, so that's the first one I've actually seen. There's probably another town up here at this crossroads that we haven't spotted yet. Yep, so that'll get us some additional recruits when we go in there. But nothing else that we need to do at the moment. Let's go ahead and secure our first battlefield. We've still got a decent amount of time, 130 days or so. Oh, we can't do anything? So we need a bunch of reservists, or we need to, yeah, at least 590. Wow, okay, so it still allowed us to secure the battlefield. We just took some attrition in doing it. There's another fort over there. All right, we got an 11,000 man army here. I don't think we're quite ready to take them on. I should look again and see where we are on. Okay, our musketeers aren't ready to upgrade yet. We need at least 5 to make them veteran musketeers, or 6 to make them grenadiers. These guys are ready to upgrade to musketeers if we wanted to. We could make them artillery, but I think I'll wait and buy some artillery rather than lose the manpower. Yeah, we'll make them musketeers. Heading to this outpost now. We can dismantle it for scrap. We have no men to spare. We could have delayed the enemy headquarters by 2 weeks for a bunch of reservists, but we just don't have the manpower. I did find a convoy earlier that I was able to get some cavalry 10-pounder howitzers from. So when we do get an artillery unit, that's going to be really nice. I don't think I've had an artillery unit with weapons that good yet. You know what? So it might be time to go in and sell some of this stuff and buy ourselves an artillery unit. But it looks like we're gonna get some combat first against an equally sized army. No artillery this time, just some cav, bunch of recruits. Should be another easy battle. So I've put my weakest unit, which is this Freikorps recruit unit that only has 42 morale. I put them out on the left flank. Put my musketeers in the center. So I've got my best morale units in the center. And then these musketeers, actually all three of these units have good morale. We've got to work on our Freikorps recruits and get them better morale. But I'm going to move them up, keep them in cover. Try to use this cover as best I can. Keep an eye on where his cav is. And hit them just as soon as I can. Looks like he's holding his cav back in the center for now. I guess he's waiting to see what I do. Alright, now he's moving them to the right. My right. And now they're coming to the center. Okay. Alright, let's move the Freikorps recruits out. I don't want them on the line taking the brunt of the assault. I'd rather have them as a flanking force that's firing into the flank of one of these units. I'm going to try to hold the line where I'm going to be outnumbered over here. Because it's basically 4-on-4 as far as the units go. We're going to try to overwhelm these Grenzer recruits, turn his flank, and then just kind of roll up the line. That's my strategy here. Gonna keep shifting the cav to counter what he's doing with his hussars. Alright, he's sending a second unit over here now, but hopefully we will have already done a number on these Grenzer recruits by then. Lovely. Yep. We're doing the same here. Our Prussian musketeers are firing on the Crown Land recruits. I think we'll go ahead and start firing on the Austrian Fusiliers now. Alright, we're going to take care of these guys just in time for his other unit to get into position. Yes, beautiful. Perfect, that's exactly what I wanted to have happen there. He's going to try to charge into these Prussian musketeers. I'm going to get a volley into them. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Oh, the volley's not going to make it because they're going to be shifting their line. Alright, we got to break these guys. Drive off the hussars. There we go. Alright, pull back the provincial cav. Musketeers, get back onto the line. Alright, as soon as these Freikorps recruits fire, I'm going to pull them back. Alright, pull them back. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Alright, let's move the provincial cav out over here. And we're going to try to gang up on these Fusiliers. As soon as it looks like it's time, we're going to hit them with a melee attack. A couple more volleys first, because his cavalry's starting to recover. Alright, we drove them off. Alright. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I want you to fire on them. Because he was about to be able to fire. Looks like we're going to try to fire on both of them. No, I just want you to fire on them. There you go. Hit them with a volley. There you go. Their morale's... Yep, there we go. I was going to say, it's already low. There's no way they're going to be successful in that charge. All right, and now we're going to send in our provincial cav. Our musketeers probably won't make it in time. They're charging 1,100 men. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. We're going to lose a lot of casualties. All right, it worked. Okay. Beautiful. All right, that was pretty good. But we need to start thinking about completing our tasks so we can get our rewards before we deal with the enemy boss army. And we definitely want to get all of our recruits leveled up. We want to have 2 full divisions by the time we get to that point as well. You know what? This time I think I'm going to go ahead and take the reservists. Give me the manpower. We're still getting leveled up. We've got upgrades for both generals. Range? Yeah, range. And accuracy and range. Morale damage received minus 15%. Fire damage received plus 5%. Okay, you know what? That's not a bad trade-off. I like that. All right, we're out of ammo again. So we've entered into another town. I really want to get some artillery, and I think we've probably got enough. Let's see. It's going to cost $675 to get a Prussian battalion artillery. We'll upgrade those 3-pound guns to the 10-pound howitzers. But we're going to have to sell some stuff in order to be able to do that. And we've got a few things that we're not going to use here that we could definitely sell. Maybe not as much as I thought, because some of the stuff I definitely would like to use. Some you can't use. It's just there to be sold. Alright, so is that enough? No, $675, so we've got to sell a little bit more. Yeah, I think that'll do it. That'll get us our artillery, and we'll now go in and upgrade them. We'll also look at our upgrades for other things. I'll move the artillery over here. 10-pound howitzers. Heck yeah. Give me those. We also have... Oh, that's going to reduce the range by 50%? I don't know about that. And they already have canister rounds loaded. We're not going to use canister all the time, though. What do we got here? Move speed plus 4. Yeah, we'll take that. Anything else specifically for artillery? Max range plus 10%. Alright, that'll do for now. Our Freikorps recruits are ready to be upgraded. We'll go ahead and upgrade them to musketeers. That gets their morale up to 49, but I still think we can do more to upgrade it. What do we have available to us? That's a little bonus to morale. And there's some there too. Back to our horsemen. Provincial cav. We need 5 to make them hussars, and I'd really like to make them hussars. Although the dragoons have a bigger size and they are able to fire, but charge is only 20, and melee is 20, whereas here it's 35 and 25, and I really want to use these more as like shock troops. So I'm going to want hussars, so we're going to wait until we get that. So let's go ahead now and head over to one of these forts and see what we can accomplish. Now that we've got artillery, we can just strip this one of supplies. We can garrison it. I don't know. That extra 2 weeks might come in handy, but I don't know that it's going to be necessary. So let's just strip it of supplies. Let's take a look at the new weapon we got there. Land pattern muskets. Yeah, that's not too great. We already have those. Oh, we did get socket bayonets, which I think are going to be better than what some of our units are currently using. Oh yeah, for sure. Alright, let's head over to this next fort. We need 3 more forts. There's one over here too I could have gone to. Oh, I've got an encampment. Let's go ahead and hit that while we're at it. Strike under the cover of darkness. Either way, yeah, let's do it. An incredible feat. Oh, we got 1,170 reservists, 40 talers, and 2 weapons. Oh, we got some more decent bayonets. I like that. Especially since we're going to try to do more melee attacks with our infantry in this one. What's that one? 8 and 4. Oh, yeah, nice. Beautiful. So pretty much everybody's bayonets are upgraded now. Alright, let's hit this other fort. We still got to secure 2 more battlefields, and then after this 2 more forts. And we're down to about 100 days to do it. So we're already a third of the way through. Same deal. Do we bump it back and lose reservists in the process to bump it back by a week? No, I don't think we will. More bayonets. Yeah, it's not necessarily helpful at this point. I've started foraging because I just realized I was getting low on food, on provisions. So we're going to make our way up to this next town, sell a few things, get some much needed provisions. We do have an enemy army that's pursuing us, so we're going to have to turn and face them at some point. But right now the immediate concern is the provisions. We can sell some of the stuff that we're definitely not using, like these old bayonets. Yeah, I think we're going to sell those too. We can sell the extra canisters. I have to check the horses because we might be able to use those horses as an upgrade over what we have now. Oh, it's actually got to go down in as one of the upgrades here. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Alright, food. Give me some provisions. At least enough to get by. Okay, everything's upgraded there. We don't have enough to buy another unit. We're going to have to turn and face this army down here. We're going to be outnumbered. 8,700. Woo, boy. Okay, so 1 unit of artillery, 1 unit of hussars. Wow. Okay, wait. Alright. These guys are all recruits, so I'm not too worried about his infantry. Alright, so we're going to move our artillery up on this high ground. Get them unlimbered and firing on his center as quickly as we can. Looks like they're going to be in range about as quickly as I can get them into position. Can't wait to see these 10-pounder howitzers go into action. Alright, boys, let's see what we got. His artillery is firing on my center. I got to be careful because right now that's where my cav is, and I don't want him being able to bounce solid shots through 3 units at once. So let's clear some of these guys out of the way. Looks like the Freikorps Musketeers are going to be the ones. Yeah, he took 61 casualties after the first volley. That's pretty hardcore. I want to fire on his center because I want to weaken the units that are coming at my center. Alright, let's see how they do as he gets into closer range. Alright, they didn't do a lot of damage that time. Maybe it'll be better when we get closer. I probably should have moved up into these woods. He outnumbers me, so this is going to be interesting. I don't think I'm going to be able to use canister from behind the line here. Alright, let's go after these guys. There we go, that was better. Just watching his cav now to see what they do. They're staying in the center at the moment. Oh, my Freikorps Musketeers have lost 179 men to his artillery already. What does he have that he's doing that much damage from back that far? 12 pounders. Okay. They're just about into range. I think I'm going to back up into these woods. Although that's going to expose my left. So I'm a little concerned about that. I may have to advance out of there. But my Freikorps Musketeers have lost 300 men and half their morale before even being in range of the infantry. That's the power that his artillery has on me right now. That's a problem. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send my cav out there. I'm going to try to draw his hussars out. I'm going to send my general with his 150 men as well. I wonder, can we get canister fire on these guys over here if we're not firing over the heads of our musketeers? Let's give it a try. It may end up being to our advantage that we backed up into these woods. We might get a canister fire right into his flank, which would be amazing. Just got to watch here. The musketeers are dealing with 2 units, but one of them's about to get driven off, so that's good. All right, canister fire, baby. Let's do it. It's not a great angle, but let's see what happens. Our morale's really low there. Come on, baby. Oh, they didn't do much damage. Less than I thought they would. Solid shot might be the better option. Oh, his hussars already tried to charge into me. I think I've got him caught between 2 units and he doesn't know what to do. Come on, boys. I think we got him. I've built these guys pretty well for melee. Yeah, that was close. He nearly got us first, but it worked. All right, in the meantime, though, we're in a bit of trouble. Mainly because my Freikorps Musketeers have been torn up pretty bad. We got to pull the cav back before these Crownland recruits get a volley into us. All right, how we doing here? Prussian Musketeers have been dealing with it. I mean, 478 casualties. That's pretty rough. But we have driven off the other units over there. I don't want to cross this river, though, especially because these guys are probably going to come back. There we go. Alright, we're in pretty good shape, I think. Some of his units are going to come back. They're reforming, including his hussars. Our artillery just got driven off. Where'd my cav go? Did they get driven off too? They did. Oh. I wasn't even paying attention. I didn't see what happened over there. Alright. Our volley, once we reload, is going to go into the hussars before he can charge into me. Oh, here they come. Hit him. Hit him now. Quick. Yes. Yes. That's right. Now we finish off the Crown Land recruits. That was a tougher battle. I mean, that's what you get when you're heavily outnumbered. And it's going to take a bit to replenish these recruits, but end result's the same. I don't want to charge with anybody right now, though, just because our morale's pretty low all the way around. Yeah, artillery's still retreating. He's still got artillery back there that's doing a number on me. Oh, and I exposed my flank to him, so that's making it worse. I think we're going to have to go after that artillery, aren't we? Now I'm exposing my flank, so we're going to have to charge into these guys and drive them off. Plus we're low on ammo. Alright, we're going to send the general in there. Here comes the general. Alright. They retreated. Alright, that was ugly, but it was still a victory, but it shows what happens when we go up against a significantly superior force, especially one that has really good artillery. And it shows why we need to get some more good artillery. Alright, it's a victory, but a costly one. We've got decent manpower. I think I'm going to go with the tollers and the ammunition. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up right there. That'll get us about halfway through Act 1. We'll come back with the second half of Act 1 in the next episode. If you are a major and up patron, go check out Patreon and respond to the message and let me know what you want for the unit. We'll go first come, first serve on those. If we don't have enough units, fear not. Once we have enough units, your unit will get created. And we'll see you again in episode 2. Thanks for watching.